there's 5 key drivers of business. I don't know if you know what these are, but every entrepreneur should know what they are. So I'm going to read them to you now, write them down, think about them. And what I want you to do is think about which of these 5 key drivers of business you need to simplify next. You might need to simplify all 5. I review all 5 somewhat regularly, at least annually, like how am I doing in these areas? But I think this might be helpful for you, a simple thing to think about, like how do I grow my business? Well, there's only 5 ways to grow your business, 5 areas of potential growth. I'm going to share them with you now, but we want to simplify each one of them. You ready? So key driver number 1 for business is lead generation. You need more leads. Every business, brick or mortar, online, doesn't matter. We need more leads. Okay? So how could you simplify your lead generation? Do you need to simplify your lead generation? Are you doing a million different things to get new leads? So lead generation is key driver number 1. Number 2 is lead nurture. Because you get a lead, what do? How do you warm that lead up to the point where they would buy something? For me, this looks like my email list a lot of times, where I'm sending weekly content emails, value add emails. If it's a new subscriber, they're usually going through an email funnel that's new, that's giving them even more value, getting them to know what I'm about, what I believe in. As Brendan Bouchard says brilliantly at KHL, you're enrolling them into your mission, right? You're not just teaching stuff, you're enrolling people into your worldview, your belief system about that topic, so that you're like, hey, this is where I'm going. Here's how I'm helping people in the world. Come be a part of this mission. So that's lead nurture. How are you nurturing your leads right now? Do you nurture them, or do they just opt in and then every once in a while you just pull the slot machine and ask for money, right? Like if you're not getting great conversions, it might be that your lead nurture needs to improve. And how could you simplify your lead nurture? So the third key driver of business is conversion. That's the actual sale. What mechanism are you using, or mechanisms are you using to convert? Are you using a webinar? Are you using a challenge? Are you using just a simple video sales page or video sales letter, VSL as we call it? What are you using for conversion? Are you selling on the phone? Are you selling at in-person events? Are you selling in DMs? These are all conversion strategies, and all have their place for certain businesses, and all can work. Which conversion strategy is working best for you, and can you and do you want to simplify your conversion? I just got off of a call with one of my high-end clients, and he was considering a new conversion strategy for his business because he's been doing the same one for a long time and it's not really performing that well. And it's not that he wants to add a bunch of stuff, but he was really considering growing his business by focusing on a new conversion strategy. And so specifically, we're going to think about moving him to a new webinar that might be a good fit for him, especially as his prices have increased. Webinars really convert well for high ticket items. And if you're good on camera, you're a good educator, you have a little bit of charisma, webinars can be a great fit for you. So how are you doing on the conversion side of things? Are you using a bunch of mechanisms to convert? Do you want to pick one, simplify, focus on? That's the third key driver of business. Number 4 is fulfillment. So typically, if we're selling a digital course or membership, fulfillment is automated. It's like emails saying, hey, thanks for buying. Here's your thing. But what does fulfillment look like for you? If you're not fulfilling the offer well, people are gonna move on or refund. And so a couple of things I just think about here is like, could you simplify your onboarding process and make it better? Are you using an onboarding process, like an email sequence, sending them to a thank you video once they've bought, like showing them how to get the best use out of the product? Do you have a customer service person that could follow up with people after 30 days of being in a product if it's a more high ticket product? You could automate that as well inside Kajabi or your email client to ping somebody 10 days in, 15 days in, 30 days in, depending on what makes sense for your offer, with an email or two, just checking in on them and seeing what they're loving about the product, what they need help with. How could you support them more? That could be automated and always time to go out. But fulfill the product or the offer and give them a great customer service experience. Are you doing a lot of different things? Have you ever considered fulfillment and what that looks like, how you're servicing the client, even if it's hands-off and digital? That's an area you could focus on with simplicity. And then fifth and final key driver of business is ascension or retention, depending on your business model or depending on the offer. So you might have an offer that you want to move them up to a higher ticket offer or up your product suite, or it might be over to a companion offer that might be a good fit for them. If you like this, you might also like this, or our best students get both. You've been in this program for a while. Have you considered this program? Like for me, it might be, hey, Automatic Income Academy is a great program for you to launch your online business. A lot of my best students also have YouTube Income Accelerator, which helps them leverage YouTube to grow sales, not just become a YouTuber or get more views, but how do you get sales from YouTube and put them together? So that could be not ascending up, but kind of ascending over. Or if you have a subscription model, then retention is what you want to focus on. Like Natalie Ellis was saying, she's got a big membership with thousands of members. If you have a leaky bucket, it doesn't matter how many new leads, how much new water you put in that bucket, it's still going to drain out the bottom. So you got to fix the leak in your bucket. How can you reduce the churn, which is our technical term for the percentage of people that cancel versus people in the membership each month? And so focusing on retention, lifetime value. How can you've worked hard to get a customer, how could you keep a customer for longer and for life, ideally? So those are the 5, I don't know if you know this, but any business, if I'm going to look at your business, I'm going to look at those 5 areas, right? What are you doing for lead gen? What are you doing for lead nurture? What does your conversion mechanism look like? Your fulfillment? And what's your plan or strategy for ascension or retention? It's just little things to know. You could grow your business by narrowing in on 1 or 2 or 3 or all 5 of those, but how could you simplify all 5 of those? That's the question I want to leave you with today. Because at the end of the day, simplicity wins for a lot of reasons. Simpler for your customers makes it easier for them to say yes to you because it's not complex. Simpler for you is easier for you to manage, and it's easier in your customer service team if you have one. Simpler for you means more empty mental space, which is a good thing, so you can be creative and have tenacity and focus on the things that really move the needle versus being caught up in a bunch of busy work, keeping up with all your offers and all your emails and all your funnels and all your launches and all your conversion events and things like that. And I just think it's telling when the biggest and the best in the world are rethinking their business. Back in the day when we started this, when I started in 2009, complexity worked. Everyone had these complex business models, and I just didn't know how to do it. So I honestly started with simple because that's all I knew how to do. And then it made me a millionaire, and I was like, why change it? And it's funny to see bigger brands basically moving closer to what I've been doing and preaching for 15 years. It's obviously validating for me, but I wanted to bring it up for you because I saw that theme across the board. Simplify, simplify, simplify. So if you're on YouTube, the comment below is which of those key drivers, 5 key drivers of business do you need to focus on, and how are you going to simplify an area of your business? You might need to simplify all of it, but just pick one. What's the one you're going to simplify moving forward? I'd love to know.